Ugh, dinos killed everything. That's it. So a dinosaur came, crushed the tank, and that's it. That's the end of the video. Sorry, guys. Okay, no, all jokes aside. So I wanted to make this video for anybody that's new to keeping a reef tank. You're gonna come across a time where things go horribly wrong. And by horribly wrong, I mean everything died, or most everything dies. Not everything in my tank died. Some things lived. Most of the stuff died, and it's pretty heartbreaking. It was really, really rough to actually see and experience. So hopefully this little quick video for anybody that's new, hopefully it kind of gives you a glimmer of hope that you don't necessarily need to quit. I almost quit. I came this close to throwing in the towel. I almost tore the tank down after losing probably a good couple $1,000s in animals very quickly, and not being able to do anything about it. I almost shut the tank down. Almost shut it down, and I almost sold everything. I'm glad that I didn't. I learned a bunch of stuff, some things that in future videos I kind of want to share with you guys so that you don't make the same mistake. Basically, what happened? I got dinoflagellates. They are a marine phytoplankton, but they're also in freshwater. I'm going to throw an overlay up with the definition of them. So what they basically do is they thrive in low nutrient systems. And by nutrients, I mean nitrate, phosphate, things that all organisms need in order to live. You need nitrate, you need phosphate, and corals especially need that. That's how they grow. That's what they use to feed, besides the sun, but they also feed on that stuff too. When you have zero of both things, it makes way for other things to thrive. Dinoflagellates is one thing that will thrive in no nutrients. So last year, when I started noticing the corals were taking a turn for the worse, weren't opening as much, they started to kind of lose a little bit of their color. That should have been an indicator right there that something was going on. I let it slide because sometimes corals will get finicky. Sometimes they'll not be happy for a few days or a week or a month, and then they open back up and they're fine. I noticed it after my lawnmower blenny jumped. So I'm gonna put a picture of the lawnmower blenny because they're really pretty fish. So here's a picture. The blenny jumped, and so I was down to one fish. I have the clownfish. Not realizing that fish, the lawnmower blenny, when he jumped, he also took his waste with him. Now, when a fish goes to the bathroom, it creates nitrate. It creates nitrate and phosphate. It creates nutrients in the tank, and that's what the corals feed on. That's what algae feeds on. So when he jumped, I had a nice balance in the tank of stuff, of an ecosystem. The object is you want to have a balance that is very good. Man, of course, I'm recording and it wants to be windy, so I apologize for the wind noise. You want to have a balanced ecosystem. All different organisms make up the ocean, and it keep everything in a very good harmony, and everything works together. In a reef tank, it's no different. You want to have a balance of nutrients. You want to have a balance of food. You want to have a nice balance of organisms that keep the tank running like the ocean. Sometimes it's really challenging. Sometimes it's really hard to get that balance. But once you find that balance, it's really easy to keep everything and to kind of take everything for granted because everything runs smoothly. So when that one fish jumped, it threw the entire balance of the tank off. Now I should have realized that it was going to throw the balance off and that I would have an issue. I didn't, and I didn't notice until it was too late. So I ended up losing a lot of really cool animals because of mistakes that I made and things that I probably should have picked up on way before they actually happened. Zero nutrients in the tank, which means the corals get zero nutrients, and it made way for dinos. They're toxic, and they cover everything. Snails, which eat algae, then eat the dinos. Those then die because they're toxic. They're toxic to humans too, and to a certain degree. And there's many different species of dinos. It's really hard to tell unless you look at them under a microscope and have somebody actually say, that's this species of dinos. So I didn't know what exactly I had. I fought them all last year and lost very big, to the point where I almost sold the tank. I almost shut it down. After talking with a friend of mine in late December, early January, he basically was like, you need to go and you need to put more fish in the tank. Because no matter what I did, dosing is I have nitrate and phosphate. I was actually adding to the tank to try to bring those levels up. Nothing worked. It would be good for a day, and then all the nutrients, everything that was left in the tank would eat the nutrients, and it was just quicker than I could actually dose it. So he told me, go to the store, get 2 more fish. I was like, well, I'm got nothing else to lose. So we bought 2 fish in early January. Now, when you're battling dinos, you want to get as much biodiversity in there as possible. And biodiversity is different kinds of organisms. So copepods, amphipods, all the little tiny bugs, they actually eat dinos, believe it or not. So that is one way to combat them. You load the tank with pods, add more waste to the tank. You don't do water changes. Water changes take out all of the nutrients in the tank. So if your nitrate's high, your phosphate's high, water changes take that stuff out. So I added 2 fish. I stopped doing water changes, and by end of February, I noticed the things that were still alive started to recoup, started to come back to life. They started to get more color. And now here we are in June. I've done 1 water change since January. Tank has 100% recovered. It's amazing. I'm really glad that I didn't throw in the towel, and I really hope that anybody watching this doesn't take for granted, because the ecosystem is so delicate that even the smallest little thing can throw it off and really send it into a spiral. Object is to not mess with the tank. Honestly, let nature do nature things. It's been doing it for a very long time. We don't need to go in there and change anything. We just have to monitor it and make sure that the things that are supposed to be there are actually there. If anybody that's watching this has battled dinos or knows what I'm talking about, has had a reef tank, they've seen the chaos that follows dinos and the battle that follows while trying to do it, is probably the hardest thing. Let me know in the comments down below, because I'm curious to see what people have done differently. For me and my case, adding more fish, feeding normal, and not doing any more water changes, just making sure that calcium, alkalinity, and magnesium were all stable and all where they were supposed to be. That actually helped. I would love to know in the comments down below. Let me know what you battled. Let me know if you've had a tank crash. Let me know if you figured it out. Let me know if you threw in the towel. I really genuinely want to know. You know, the knowledge is power. So the more knowledge that we have, the better off that we're going to be. Corals, believe it or not, they are very, very durable. They are temperamental. Some are more temperamental than others. If you can keep the ecosystem stable, you're good. I have a better understanding of what to look for when the corals, you know, because they'll tell you what's wrong. When they start to pale out, you know, things like that, they'll give you indicators. It may take a couple weeks. Can't do anything fast in this hobby. Fast in this hobby is going to kill your tank. Everything has to be done slowly. Small changes. Small changes, you let the small change go for a month or 2. See how the animals react. They're very slow. The animals are very slow to react to change, so it's really, really good to make sure you pay attention and give them a few weeks, see how everything goes. But that's it for the video for today. I just wanted to do a quick kind of lesson on not to give up. I'm very glad that I didn't. This hobby can be super rewarding. It's very nice to be able to sit there and stare at the ocean in your living room, but everything is very delicate to a certain degree. Yeah, I would love to know what you guys think. I have more videos coming. This was just kind of like an off the cuff. I wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown on what happened with my tank and how I fixed it. So yeah, if you guys want to know anything else, shoot me a comment down below. And don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. We're at 21 followers. And let's see if we can get 30. Let's see if we can get 30 by the end of the month. That's a goal, right? And hey, I hope you guys all have a great afternoon, and I will see you in the next one.